All right, everybody, welcome back. This is our, I would say, the fourth video. I think it's maybe the fifth video, actually. Just kind of getting an update to you guys who've been following us as we've been in the design process. Very exciting stuff happening. Like I said, we've just kind of been designing right now. We definitely don't want to be wasting money on Legos. This is going to be quite a big project, so I don't want to really just be building and then realize we didn't like to do it the way we did it, so we scrap a bunch of pieces and try something different. So we're trying to get kind of the fit and see what everything looks like as we go on. So right now, as our last videos, we kind of talked about F-Deck. We did some F-Deck stuff. We've recently did some other projects, did some additions to F-Deck. I've added an E-Deck, which is what we're looking at right now. On this one is where we're at. This is, let me pull up the pictures here. We'll go to E-Deck. Like I said, if you guys are interested in this, I know someone asked me a while back, hey, how do we get these blueprints? They're actually on, I believe it's like Titanic Encyclopedia is what the website's called. I'll put the link in the description. But it's like, I think it's like £5, which is English, but so it's something probably around $6 American to get these, and there's just so much information provided in them. But what we're looking at, if we go back to that Lego set here, so this here is going to lay on top of F-Deck, the F-Decks that we've already built. Under it's going to be the dog kennel area, then also the one part of the third-class dining saloon. It doesn't flow over the whole thing, but so as you can see here, we're doing, if you see my mouse here, we're doing pretty much this section right here. So, it's, so in the middle we got the boiler casing, which is going to actually, those boiler rooms that we're building on the tank level, they're eventually going to have to come together right in this. Actually, one of them that we built is kind of over in this area, the tank level, and the other one's kind of this section. But on this deck, they're going to meet together, and the funnel's going to meet and fit right through here. We got some stewards and cooks bathrooms and lavatories and bedding areas, and the chief baker, all these things, the chef, they all sleep on this side. We've got some second-class cabins we've started working on in that section. And so the staircases, we actually, if you missed from the last video, we actually built them connected to F-Deck. And so they actually go up from F-Deck. And so the piece that we're building right now slides into them. But we've got, let's take a look here. So so this is what we got. So let's just pop it up real quick. See, boom, and boom. Okay, so we got one stair. We actually got two staircases going to be on this one. I decided just to leave them as is, not take them up to D-Deck. But they're going to come flush with the next floor, and so there'll be a hole on the next floor that these will lay right under. I put some beds in here. They're not permanent. They're just kind of helping me see the size of things. When you're dealing with Legos, things can be kind of bulky, so some of these rooms may look like they're super tiny. But this hole right here is actually over F-Deck. So the F-Deck staircase pops up here. And then we also have the other staircase from F-Deck from the dining room is gonna fit snugly right there. And I'll show you that when I do the full ship picture here. What do you guys think of my custom tiles we made? Got this off of some pictures provided by it's called Titanic Honor and Glory. It's a pretty much virtual reality. They're building the actual Titanic. You can actually have access to it. It's free. They've done quite a bit of the ship. It's very detailed, but you can literally walk through all the decks, open doors, go see different parts of the ship. And I've been using them as a reference. They've been really helpful. The only thing is I've only been able to access pictures. I know some guys on here really appreciate your comments. You've been telling me, hey, it's like you should look into that. And I'm like, I would, but I'm an Apple user, and apparently at the moment they only have Windows accessible to this software. So I've just been using their pictures for now. Down the road, we'll probably get ourselves a Windows computer if they don't get it over to Apple in time. But this was our first dealing with of a slanted, yeah, look at this. So these got some cabins here on E-Deck that are slanted walls here. So what we did, this is what we kind of came up with. If you guys have any ideas that may be better, we're all ears. But right now, what we did is we've got these bottom plates here. There's like one brick with a bump on it, that we can lock in, and then the rest of these are actually hovering over plates. So see, this plate goes over to the other side. That way we can slide and fit the wall into the way it needs to go and make them connect. So there was that, and we worked on some second class furniture. just kind of testing them out, seeing what we do. We'll probably go back as we get more into detail later. Like I said, right now, guys, we're just trying to get the skeleton built. I sometimes will like build some furniture just to kind of give a reference of what the room's going to look like. But like I said, we'll go back and really get into these mocks later, you know, as we're kind of hands-on building these things, these beds, these chairs. Got a little recliner here. If you're wondering how I made these, now this isn't perfect, but it's as close as I could see according to the floor that was actually in some of these second class cabins on some of the pictures I saw. So I actually, the cool thing about Bricklink is they not only have a studio builder for Legos, they actually have a Lego designer. And this is what the logo looks like. It's this here, this part designer. You can click that. And what you can do is you're like, well, how did you design these? Well, I have an account with the website called Canva. And in Canva, you can do custom, just graphic design is really a big part of it. But you can make your own custom size of whatever you want to work with. So I just did a 400 pixels by 400 pixels. And I created these designs in both colors. And all you do is you go into that parts design. You go into parts design, you select your piece. We're gonna create a new one. We select parts, we went into the tile, and we found the 2x2 tile. And all you do is you just click this here and say, what do you want to put on top of this? And you just find your picture. And I'll just, let's see here if I've got any pictures available. I don't, but that's okay. But you just select a picture, and it would pop right on. Then you can kind of move it and shift it, and then you just export it to your studio, and it just within seconds you can go over to your studio and start applying. Like for example, let's see here if I add my side panel, show side panel. That's the wrong panel. Let's go to the other panel. All panels. Let's show panels. So if you look here, if you go to this button here, says main, go to custom parts, type tile. See, I've got my tiles right here. I've actually got some from my other projects, parts of the ship. Yeah, so that's what you do. You just, this was actually for my paintings that I put on the third class dining saloon. I just found old paintings of ships and made them, I think it was like 400 pixels by 200 pixels, and put these pictures in, and they just fit right on there. And so you're probably wondering, like, well, how are you going to do this, Jory, whenever it's actually time to make these pieces? Well, I've looked at different websites, and there's guys that, like, you can actually print, you know, just with sticker paper. And if you get the dimensions right, you can print off just a whole sheet of this stuff and just cut it out and place it on, you know, white tiles or whatever you decide. And that's probably the plan we're going to do if we can't find something easier to do than that. Again, if you're wondering why we did blue on top of this is because eventually when I start working on D-Deck, I want D-Deck to fit right into this and right on top of this. And what I do to help me lock in and make it not slide, I like to put little plates on the bottom of D-Deck that'll sit right inside those corners. So what I'll do eventually to make this easier, selecting all those tiles on this, I will select by color. If I select that, boom, I have the whole thing. I can copy it and send it into a new file and make it my base. So there's that. So let me hide this view again. We don't need all this. Let's go to main, hide all panels. So yeah, here we are on E-Deck. Got some second string. I even have the women's lavatories I've started working on. Kind of did my own little custom bathroom stalls. As you can see on theirs, they also have 3 stalls right there. That's the room we were working on there. We've got 3 stalls. Boom, that's my toilets. Got them set up. There's actually going to be some more over here. But that's E-Deck from marker 4 all the way back to bulkhead K. And then we started working on F-Deck, F through G, which is right on this side. This right here, this piece here, is my third class dining saloon, the front part of it. I took that just as a reference, so I know that it snaps together well. I can actually make that disappear. See? And disappear. So there's that. Now, this section was interesting. As I started building this just recently, we've got some stewards. They're going to have beds in here. There's some other different staff people. They have their bedrooms. Over here is going to be the Turkish bath area, which I'm really excited to start building and designing. But as I started this, I didn't realize there was a staircase here. And as I was getting ready to build the staircase, as I kind of zoomed out, I realized this is the bottom of the grand staircase. And I realized, I'm probably going to have to take a different approach to this. And so I have decided to build the grand staircase. But real quick, let's go to F-Deck so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Zoom in here. So yeah, we had just finished, I think in the last video, our third class dining on the front part. The forward one. but this is the section that I just showed you. We're building this one right here is what we're building right now. And that right there is the very bottom of the grand staircase. And so I decided I'm going to make the whole grand staircase its own section that will actually stack right down into this little square here all through the decks, because I went and measured out all those decks all the way up to boat deck, and it's actually probably going to be a lot easier just to build one big kind of rectangle shape with all the floors that will actually just pop right into place right there, and then we'll continue to watertight bulkhead B off of that and move on. So that's that, and so that's what we got going on here. So I haven't went any farther because I jumped over to my grand staircase, and this is what we got so far, guys. Now this isn't perfect yet. I'm just trying to get the kind of the dimensions going yet. There's a lot of detail that's going to go into this later, but right now I just wanted to kind of show you guys where we're at. We've got F deck, which is what we were working on. This part's going to lay right in to this area right here. What I'm going to do is kind of keeping it from moving and making sure it fits perfectly is we're going to measure it out. It's going to lay up against that wall right there, and then there's going to be the floor tiles for this area is going to just fit up right up against this open area. This will be, and there'll be a plate level lower where that grand staircase comes in, and it will fit right along the bottom of this right here, and then it'll pop in there. Then E deck will be supported, and then we go up to D deck, which I believe, if we look right, this. So like I said, I used Titanic Honor and Glory again. And what we did is I looked at their flooring that they had in that area. And this may not be perfect, but it was hard to see in the pictures the exact design. But this is what we came up with right there. So that's what we got so far. Got the grand staircase going up. It meets right on the next one. And actually every other floor, it seemed, had that exact tile formation from all the pictures I've seen. And we also designed these in Canva and made them set up. We got a couple different ones here. Let's see if I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. So that's what the one looks like. We have another one. The middle one's a little different. So we got that, the diamond. And then we have this one, which looks like that. So, yeah. And so right now, like I said, we still have to put the railings in on all these. Yeah, there's so much detail that I want to make this look gorgeous. But right now, I'm just kind of getting the sizing of it so we can start working on the rest of Titanic. Because, guys, like I said, I'm not really going to get into the big details on the really intricacies of every section yet. Because we just want to make sure that everything fits right. And then we'll start building into it. So then I'm getting ready to finish off the boat deck, which will be here. Actually, there's going to be and this will all slide right in to into the rest of the ship. And then there's going to be a glass dome over this, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I've kind of been looking at different people's models and been inspired by their ideas and seeing what they've got going on and trying to make my own. And that's where we're at on the grand staircase. And so right now, with the full ship, the sections that I've got kind of sized out and made a skeleton of, we've gotten all the way up to E deck and a couple sections of F deck, and this is what we're sitting at with, guys, right now. Continue to go, but now things are going to start to get tricky, because now I kind of started in the easiest place in the ship, which is right in the middle. Why? Because if you look here, the sides are straight, which is awesome. But as we get down to tank level here, as I've built these couple boiler rooms, if we move into, we finished G through H, now we're moving on to F through G, and if you can tell, the line really starts to curve in. So we've got to start maneuvering this ship towards its point at the front of the ship. The problem is I do not want to make this Titanic bricky as much as possible. I want to make it smooth as possible. And I know, there can be some skepticism to that, because it is Legos. They're bricks, right? And obviously there are some slopes, but man, I have seen some awesome builds from other ideas that people have had regarding curvature and everything. I've seen some great ideas out there, and I've been inspired by them. I've been working with one that I found a short the other day that this guy had built this, it was like a jewelry box, but the lid slid and it went around and everything, all the thing built. And I took his idea, and this is what I'm thinking of, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comments. But as the ship starts to go forward and starts to bend upward, look at these tiled with these Technic bricks, and the tiles going on here and the hinges. We might be able to make something out of this to make this a little more smooth moving forward, but that's the ideas we have so far. But this may be more, it's kind of hard within Bricklink Studio to do a lot of bending and hinging. and make it look right and make everything snap together right. So this will probably be something later on that we'll probably do when we get the bricks in and hands-on and really start to build it and stuff. So so we can really feel what it looks like and get it making it look good. But that's where we're at now, guys. I'm going to finish off this grand staircase, and we'll probably move on to some other boilers, start getting them curving in. And my goal is to, in the next month, I'm hoping that we're going to start laying down the base on this, guys, and start seeing this physically start to build up. But I appreciate you guys watching and following us. I'm loving the comments. Just had a great guy the other day who was definitely tell he was a Titanic history buff. Got on there and shared some things with me, and he was saying, "Hey, you don't have to do the floor that way because they did it this way." And I was like, I appreciate that. The only problem was, you know, I'm working with Legos, and sometimes Legos doesn't have the exact things that, you know, obviously the Titanic had. They may have similar, but I know I am also looking at how the Titanic was built, and I'm actually taking ideas from the Titanic and like, okay, I could probably make Legos do that. And so that's where we're at. But guys, I enjoy the comments. I appreciate the comments. The kids also, they started building their first mock. We did some fun little stoves for third class. There's some ranges, and built those. And so you guys can check those out. The video is going to be on here. And we got the mocks, guys. We're all the little mocks I'm sharing, not the Titanic itself, because it's a little too much to render for parts list, and it's kind of not perfect the way I want it yet. But as we're building furniture, as we're building mechanics and all these things, we're putting those guys on Patreon for $5. You guys can have access to all those at any time. Feel free to click the link in the subscription, and you know that subscription helps us continue to build this even faster and get things going. Everything, guys, the comments, the patrons, everything is so much appreciated. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Stay with us. This is just getting started, but it's going to be exciting. And happy sailing, guys. Take care.